All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to dive into some really profound ancient wisdom to tackle a problem that feels incredibly modern. We're exploring what's called the internal revolution, and our guide is going to be the deep well of Syriac thought. I mean, seriously, have you ever felt that? That constant push and pull on the inside, where one part of you wants something and another part wants the exact opposite? Man, it can be absolutely exhausting. And you know what's so wild is that this feeling isn't new. For centuries, ancient Syrian thinkers have pointed to this inner conflict and said, yep, that's it. That's the central challenge of being human. So for this explainer, we're basically going to use their ancient map to navigate it. Okay, so our first stop on this journey is just understanding the conflict itself. Section 1, the battle within us. Let's really frame what this battle that's raging inside all of us actually looks like. It's such a strange paradox of modern life, isn't it? We can have so much stuff on the outside, so many opportunities, and yet still feel this deep sense of unrest on the inside, kind of like spiritual static. Well, according to Syriac thought, that's because the real war isn't out there, it's in here. So what are the two sides fighting in this internal war? Well, that brings us to section 2, which introduces them as two forces, ego and spirit. And in the Syriac tradition, these forces have very specific names and qualities that define our inner world. The key concept we need to grasp here is duality. Now, this isn't some simple good versus evil showdown. It's more about two opposing but also interconnected energies that create the tension and the dynamism of life itself. Now this is where it gets really interesting, because this slide just lays it all out so clearly. On one side, you have the ego, or shuloyo. It's all about taking, conflict, fear, and selfishness. And on the other side, you have the spirit, or shumdoyo, which is driven by giving, harmony, love, and oneness. All that turmoil we feel, it's the clash between these two, right inside of us. So if that's the battle, what's the way out? What's the path to peace? Section 3 gets into the path of revolution. And the idea here isn't to destroy one side, but to consciously choose which one gets to be in the driver's seat. That's the internal revolution. And here's the crucial part. This is not a one-and-done kind of deal. It's not a battle you win once and it's over forever. No, it's a continuous moment-to-moment process. It's a lifelong journey of actively, consciously choosing the path of the spirit. And this slide just perfectly illustrates the kinds of shifts that happen when you're on this path. We're talking about a fundamental change in perspective. You go from feeling separate and isolated to feeling connected, from a default mode of blame to one of blessing and gratitude. And maybe most importantly, you go from being ruled by fear to being guided by love. Okay, this all sounds amazing in theory, but how do we actually do it, right? Well, in section 4, we're going to look at some wisdom for the journey and explore some really practical tools from these Syriac masters. So it really boils down to 3 key pillars. First, awareness, what the source calls the spirit's eye. It's just about learning to notice when the ego is running the show. Second, knowledge, or the brain's energy. We have to actually learn and understand these ideas to grow. And third, and this is the big one, choose love. That's the spirit's native language, and it has to become our default action. I absolutely love this quote from this 6th century sage, Mor Yaqub of Sarug. It just gets right to the heart of it all. I mean, we can understand all this stuff with our minds, but the real work, the hard part, is in the doing. It's all about having the will to consistently make that better choice. And then you have this gem from the Syrian all the way back in the 4th century, reminding us just how big the challenge is. See, the ego loves to operate through habits, and those ingrained patterns, they're like chains on the soul. Easy to pick up, but so difficult to break. The revolution is the hard work of breaking them. So after all this work, this lifelong journey, what's the destination? What's the payoff? Section 5 explores the ultimate goal, finding the paradise within. And this is such an important point. The goal isn't to create a perfect life with no problems. That's impossible. The goal is to cultivate an authentic self that can navigate all of life's challenges with a sense of harmony, with wisdom, and with a deep, unshakable sense of purpose. It's about changing your inner world, not the outer one. And this powerful quote from the 13th century scholar Bar Ebroio just brings it all home. The paradise we're all searching for, the treasure we long for, it's not somewhere out there. It's been hidden inside of us all along, just waiting for us to do the work to discover it. So, as we wrap things up here, This last slide kind of turns the whole question back to you, because this isn't just some ancient philosophy to think about. It's a practical guide for living. So, knowing this battle between ego and spirit is happening inside you right now, what's your next step? What's one small, conscious choice you can make today?